Hello everyone, it's Conan, and today we're gonna talk about some stuff. And so it's a bit more fun. I'm gonna show you my old comics I've worked on before my current webcomic arrived, for which there's always a link in the description below. But I'm also gonna put it on screen right here. Oops, here it is. Hopefully, if I manage to put it there. So yeah, let's get into it. First, I want to show you one of the short comics I did. This is from a comics class I took, which is also relevant for the topic, but I'm going to talk about that later. But I'm going to show it to you really quick. I put a post-it in it, and it's printed because we made zines at the end of the class. I don't print all my comics. So it's just a short, creepy story about a haunted house, and I think it's quite good for the fact that it's my first comic. I'm actually really happy with it. And yeah, that's it. It's just a really short one. It's a short project. And now my longer project, my first longer project, which, wow, I failed. So last year in October, I thought I'd do a comic where I did a page every day, and it was called 30 Floors. It was pretty weird, and I actually made the whole plot up on the 31st of September. So yeah, it wasn't that great to begin with, and I also never finished it because I was in school at the time. So I didn't have that much free time, so I just fell behind and then I never finished it. I can't actually remember how many pages I got into it, but it's still my last traditional media comic I did. So while I'm gonna leaf through this folder with all the pages, I'm just gonna talk about the magnum opus discussion, or whatever you want to call it. So basically it's a discussion that's going on mainly comic Twitter, I think. I'm gonna tilt it up. There's glare, I'm sorry. On Twitter. And it's about whether you should start your big project or do a bunch of small projects first. So I'm definitely on the side of start your big project, because I think this comic failed because I wasn't really passionate about it. Also because I didn't have time, but I wasn't really as passionate about it as I was passionate for Arai, which I've been doing for about a year, and I've been keeping up with it, and it's a full color digital comic. But I've had the story in mind for about 5 years now. But I've always told myself that I wasn't good enough to do it yet, that I was never gonna finish, that it was gonna suck. And that's probably some advice you're gonna hear, like, your first comic is going to suck, which I really hate that sentiment, because it still makes me feel like shit. Even though Arai technically isn't my first comic, I still feel like it's my first big webcomic project, and I just hate feeling like no matter what I do, it's still gonna be shit. Yeah, of course, my art style will change over the course where I make this fucking, I don't know, 300-page comic, but that doesn't mean it has to suck. Yet, like, it won't be my magnum opus, or what people like to call it. It won't be the best thing ever, but I think as long as I go back, correct myself, go over my writing a bunch of times, I think it's gonna be quite okay, actually. And that's actually the message I want people to take away from this, is that you can start your big project. Just make sure to check yourself, maybe write a script, have thumbnails, go over it multiple times, and just make sure it's the best you can do at the moment, because there's literally no point in waiting. You're just losing time that you could be practicing. The best way to learn about comics is to make them. Also, here are some more These are some slice of life comics I also sketched. I'm doing them digitally as well. You can also find them on my tapas, but they're on a hiatus right now. So there they are. Okay, what I was saying is just start. If you have an idea and you're really passionate about it and you think it's gonna work out, then just start. You're gonna learn by doing it. You don't have to take expensive classes or waste time when you just can learn by doing it. And yeah, it's not gonna be your magnum opus. No one makes your magnum opus at 20 or even 30. I think there's not even such a thing as a magnum opus. Like, your later projects are always gonna be better than your early projects because you have more experience. Like, even if you compare these two, the change isn't that apparent, but you can definitely, I think, see some improvement in the flow and in the style. Well, they're different because this has ink wash on it, but like, I improved. And if you look at Arai, if you look at the first few pages and the new few pages, like, I learned to do backgrounds through comics. So I'm rambling. So just start your big project. You're not gonna fail. It's not gonna be the most terrible thing that has ever been created. Just believe in yourself and try your hardest. Bye. See you in my next video. Sorry, this one was so rambly. Bye.